This is Arts Alive. I'm Lynda Philippi, and we have a studio full of guests today. We have Anne Marcom, who is the founder and director of the Eco Gallery, along with her husband, Terry Stolflug, and their featured artist this month, Nosavad. So welcome to all three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you could be here today.
Pleasure to be here.
And you want to talk a little bit maybe about yourself and how you came to open the gallery?
Yeah, I'd love to, and I'm really excited to have it open. We just opened about 2 months ago. It's called Eco. It's at 507 East 2nd Street here in McMinnville. And I started in photography quite a few years ago and just really dove into it and took it seriously and made it full-time about 3 years ago. And when I started displaying my photography in different local businesses during art walks and things like that, I really found that I wanted to do more than just have it in an occasional business month by month, and saved and worked hard, and over the years was able to put it together and find a location and then open this gallery. And because of the nature and wildlife theme of most of my photography, I also like some architectural work as well, but really have a passion for nature and wildlife photography. And what a great state. And we have the best of everything, from the mountains to the ocean and really everything in between. Any day you can go out in Oregon and find something to take pictures of. And we also have a lot of endangered and threatened species in Oregon that need someone to be a voice for them. And so when I put together the theme for my gallery, the reason I named it Eco was, well, ecology, of course, the study of organisms and their relationship to one another and their surroundings. And so based on that principle itself, everything in the environment and in the earth kind of is codependent as an ecosystem, one on the other. And so bringing all of that together into artwork, the best theme I could come up with was to have recycled, reused material or nature wildlife art, whether that's carvings or metal works and sculptures that Nosavad does from reclaimed materials, and handbags that are made from old hard book covers. We have quite a variety of things in the gallery.
So you obviously haven't had any trouble attracting artists who have the same kind of theme going on in their work as you do in yours.
Well, when I first opened it, I thought, wow, this is going to be a really tough theme, and I'm going to have probably really limited artists. But when I put the theme out there and when I got it opened and got some signs out around town, I was shocked at the number of really talented people that we have, from collage work and the books. Just a ton of people, and we're always looking for more artists as well. We do a featured artist each month, and so the front entrance of the gallery has one person's work. And so this month it's Nosavad's work, and I'll let him tell you all about that.
Yeah, well, basically what I do, I find a lot of recycled materials. You know, different places I go to, jobs I go on, I'll find material that's unique, oddball looking, and then I try to create unique, different styles of art sculpture than a lot of other people do. And so I spend a lot of time looking and digging around. I have a big supply of stuff that I've collected over the years. And
you weld it? Is that what you do?
yeah, I weld it together, yeah, pretty much. Weld it, grind it.
I heard Terry talking about the train. You want to talk about the train a little bit?
It's in progress.
Okay.
I took all found objects, a lot of oddball pieces that I had laying around in the shop, in the studio, and started laying them out on the top of a steel bench. So they're laid flat, so they're more, it's 3D, but it's laid in more the 2D spectrum, so I can start looking at it and adding pieces and parts to it. And really, when you're doing this kind of thing, with the found object, trying to create something, sometimes I feel it takes longer to do, and it's harder, because you got to bring things in that actually fit onto that particular piece. If I'm doing an abstract piece or going out there, I can just kind of go and flow with it and let it go and carry itself, and sometimes that'll go a lot quicker.
But if it actually has to look like something, that's a little bit tougher because you have to wait till you find the pieces, right?
Well, this will actually look like a steam engine, an old steam engine, but if you really look at what's there and what's going on, it doesn't.
I think that's great.
It does, but you have to climb up on this little ladder.
Okay.
And then you have to look down on it. And once you do that, but knowing your work, that's going to be an awesome piece. I want that as soon as possible.
They already do own a couple of my sculptures.
Okay. Well, it's nice to show at a gallery where your work is appreciated.
Yes, I appreciate that too. They're very good.
So you'll be a permanent part of the gallery? Or, I mean, semi-permanent part of the
Well,
gallery?
of course, until I do something wrong. I'm
Okay.
sure.
Okay. And I know that we were talking about this earlier, that you'd done this show quite a few years ago.
It's
And
been quite a few years.
I've seen your name here and there, but I really haven't had a chance to catch up with you. So it's nice to know that you're busy and happy, presumably. And
Yeah, I'm still out there, alive and well, and
yeah.
pushing on. Keep doing more. I venture into more and more different styles. Because usually, most everything I do is a one-of-a-kind, sign numbered, dated piece.
Right.
Which pushed me in a collector category. And I just keep moving on.
And you've got a piece of public art, I know.
I do. I have a sculpture right downtown McMinnville here, right in front of the gallery theater in that little terrace area. There's a 14-foot tall piece there.
Yeah, that's really an amazing piece, actually.
Thank you. That's Look Up is the name of that.
So probably if anybody's passed by Gallery Theater, they've seen some of your work, whether or not they've recognized that, but that's kind of the immediate thing that people can connect with you.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people. When I've been at art shows, like here in town at Linfield College this summer, I had a picture of it up on the wall, and I just put it on there that I have the piece at the downtown at the Gallery Theater, and then all of a sudden people identified with me.
Yeah, the light
They're
bulb
like,
goes
oh,
on.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, this does look like that. It's this kind of style and design. And
So interesting,
So-
yeah. The abstraction, I like that. Now, Terry, you came on as, obviously, partner of Anne, but you have a special function at the gallery as well?
I do. Well, actually, when Anne picked this theme, she also said there has to be nothing but organic wines.
Okay.
And that is a tough thing to find, especially if you want very good, fine organic wines. So I went online and I picked 2 wineries that we deal with. One is called Cowhorn Vineyards. They're out of Jacksonville, Oregon. And the other one is Pheasant Valley, which is out of Hood River.
Oh, okay.
And we feature 4 organic wines. There's 3 whites and 1 Pinot Noir from Pheasant Valley. And that happens to be a sulfite-free wine too, the Pinot Noir. And then the other 2 are Syrahs from Cowhorn. And Cowhorn seems to be about the furthest to an organic wine that you can get because they do biodynamic farming.
When you said Cowhorn, I was thinking biodynamic. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
They do. And I mean, there's a scale that was actually developed in 1928 called the Demeter scale. And that's how you have to do biodynamic farming. So the 4 wines from Pheasant Valley won either bronze or silver in the 2011 Northwest Wine Festival. And the Wine Enthusiast has given a 91 to the Syrah, which is Syrah 74, which is actually an 08. So, and the Seattle Times has listed Cowhorn in the top 100 wineries. And they're very, very, very fine wines. They're also we have a lower end price to a medium end price wines. And so we're trying to keep, in an area that it's affordable. So we invite everybody in to have a taste.
So people come in, buy a glass of wine? Is that what you do?
We do just tasting and sales to take home.
Oh, okay.
And then sales to take them.
Oh, okay. So do you have food there as well?
On the weekends we do.
Oh, okay.
We're open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 in the morning until 7 in the evening.
Okay.
Just the 3 days a week. But the whole time that we're there, we do have the wines open for tasting. And a lot of people like to come in and taste the wine and walk through the gallery and look at the art and usually buy some wine and take home with them for the evening.
Well, I would imagine that you couldn't be open every single day or you wouldn't be able to get out and do very much photography.
That's right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about this list that you brought?
I'd love to.
Okay.
There's a website that anybody can go onto. It's www.endangeredspecies.com. And this is the list for the state of Oregon. And this is a federal list, but these are animals and plants that are here in Oregon alone that are on either the threatened or endangered species list. So there's 37 animals, and on the back it continues with the animals, and then onto a list of plants also. These are things that you could walk by and never even know you'd seen. The Fender's blue butterfly is number 2 on the endangered animal species list here, and they exist solely in the Willamette Valley here. I think there's just under 8,000 of them left in the world, and we're privileged enough to have them here. There's, I know, they're so sweet, and they're only 1 inch in diameter. They're a little teeny tiny blue butterfly. If it fluttered by you, you might think it was a moth or maybe not even notice it. But out at the Basket Slough National Wildlife Reserve out by Rickreall in the springtime and early part of July, you'll find them out there. That's where their best breeding habitat's at, and it's also the home of the Kincaid's lupin, which is their primary food source, and it's also on the endangered species list here.
Now, do you have photographs of those that you
I do.
that you want to show? Or
I do.
Okay.
I brought in a CD with some of those on there today.
Okay.
It's got the Fender's blue, and the photo that's up there now is the Stellar sea lion, and they're on the endangered or threatened species list for the state of Oregon. And you'll see them, mom and dad are there, and the little baby's tucked safely underneath her flipper, safe
cute.
down in Newport. And they were going extinct mostly from human abuse. And their numbers are not making a great comeback, and they're not a real popular animal because they like to take the fish, but they still need someone to be a voice for them.
Sure.
And then there's several endangered species on the video here, but this one that's up now is the Yaquina Head Lighthouse, and that has an interesting story all of its own. My husband and I went down in January of this last year, and I just wanted to take photos of the lighthouse. I thought it'd be beautiful just about sunset with the lights coming out over the ocean. And so we went in, took a couple of quick photos. They were just getting ready to close for the night, and I didn't pay too much attention to what was on the photos until I uploaded them the next day. And there were some unusual lights that appeared in the windows, and I ended up going back a couple weeks later and talking to the Corps of Engineers who owns the lighthouse and the Bureau of Land Management, and just to ask them, you know, if there's any possibility that they could help me out with why these red lights were in the window. And through all of the people that were there in the chain of command, they eventually said that no, that there's no electricity in that room. There's no reason that there would be lights on or lanterns lit or anything of that nature. I know it's a very odd subject, but it is what it is, and there were some pretty odd things that showed up in the photographs that we did go through a spectral analysis for light and through 5 different processes, both my camera and the photos themselves, you know, to make sure there wasn't some sort of camera anomaly or something that, some energy that it had built up in the camera that could have caused an anomaly to be recorded. And so far, the best, the last analysis that they went through was from a company who works for our federal government, and they determined that it was unusual phenomena that appeared in the photograph that couldn't be scientifically identified.
Wow.
Right. So I have those photos up on display at the gallery for anybody that wants to come in and see them. And very unusual
Ghost
subject,
hunters or whatever, yeah.
And I'm not a ghost hunter, never have been. It's not something I set out to do. It's just something that happened to show up in some photos.
In actuality, when she took the picture, you did not see the light.
It just showed up when they were developed.
Wow, that's so interesting. Now, you have more photos, do you not?
Have a lot more photos.
Okay.